Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about Stargirl Season 3, Episode 12, The Last Will and Testament of Sylvester Pemberton. This is my second time having to record this. My audio kept getting messed up with the first time, and it sucks because I was just about to upload it. But anyway, it's going to have to wait a little bit longer. So, this episode, my God, shocked the mess out of me. I was very surprised. That twist ending was kind of like, holy crap. Now, I've heard this theory before on another YouTube channel, but I didn't want to believe it just because, like, I don't know, I just didn't want to go there, because I just didn't want this dude just to go there, you know what I'm saying? In the show, but they did, and it was just like mind-blowing and stuff, but it makes sense. But then, I also didn't want to believe it because it was just kind of like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, the dude has some anger issues here and there, but he acted so realistic. I didn't want to believe it, but my God, it actually happened. So, the thing about this episode is like when I first heard the title, I assumed that, oh, nah, man, Starman's gonna die. But I'm like, it's towards the end, so I guess what has to happen has to happen. And, I've been having mixed feelings about Starman this season and stuff. And we all know by now that there was an alternate ending shot. Because they didn't know if they were going to get picked up for another season or not. So they filmed two completely different endings. And with that, you know what? I believe this episode is that alternate ending scenario because I don't know, man. He acted too good and too normal and stuff. And you should probably figure out by now that, yeah, if you saw my other video, Sylvester ain't Sylvester and stuff. But he acted too much like Sylvester. He knew way too much. Also, the staff, why would it react to him if it's not really him? You know what I'm saying? Especially that of last season. So I truly feel like this season or this episode and the next episode were just the alternate version of it. Won't find out until much later, until the season's completely over and probably on the DVD release, probably, or until the showrunner wants to like reveal something. Because this reminds me of that Deep Space Nine episode when they were doing the whole Dominion War. In Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Dr. Bashir, he was actually a changeling, and the actor had no idea. They did not reveal it to him until that very moment because they was afraid if he knew it ahead of time, he might have given certain evil looks to his like expression and acting and stuff. Now they could have went a similar route to that of Joel, being that they probably just didn't tell him to the last minute because they didn't want him to overreact and stuff. Or maybe it really was just last minute and this is the alternate ending. Either way, it was mind-blowing. Now, I'm still have mixed feelings about this season. I still feel like it is lackluster. I still think the murder mystery, while very clever, didn't hit the notes it should have hit it early on in the season. And because, I didn't believe none of those people killed the gambler and stuff, But like if they would have they should have revealed some of this stuff towards the middle. It would have been much better instead of all this stuff revealing towards the end of the season. I get it's supposed to be suspenseful and everything, but it just didn't click. And also, I will always hold season one up with high regards. The action, the drama, the dialogue, the acting. It changed in season 2. People don't want to admit to it, but it changed. And it dramatically changed in season 3. But it is what it is. So let's get down to the boring filler stuff until I get to the actual brain swapping stuff. So, it starts off with that one actress. I forget her name. Jackie something. Reynolds, I think her name is. Because the original Ultra-Humanite, the doctor dude, the mad scientist dude, he swapped brains with her and he's been living her life and he likes it. He's acting, He's giving a great performance, but he needs a body strong enough to kill the JSA. So he tells Dr. Ito, makes his return in that flashback, talking about, I want to put my body in an albino gorilla, put some tweaks to it, and it can destroy the JSA. And Ito's all like, I should have thought about that instead of doing these lizard modifications to myself. And so that's like in the flashback. It's filmed very nice. It's filmed old school. You see the old school like bars on like the TV. I don't like the black and white mutedness of the actual flashback. It's okay for the TV stuff, but not the actual flashback. But I get they want to tell, hey, it's a different time, but still, it's a little too blending for me. Similar to what they did to Fear the Walking Dead in season 4. And so basically in this episode, we have Rick. He's coming to grips with his woe is me's. He realizes that he's too ballistic and everything, and he needs to tell the group what's been going on because he feels terrible. You know what I'm saying? That he's been emotionally hurting people, distant, physically hurting people. He could kill somebody. So he tells them that, he messed with the hourglass, with the limiter, and it was Sylvester's idea and stuff like that. And so, like, the group is kind of like, why would Sylvester tell him that if he knew all the problems that Rick's dad had with it and stuff? And so they started to kind of like contemplate like what's going on. And so like Beth is like, I forget what she tells them, but like, this explains now why he was cool with Beth cheating on a test with the goggles and stuff, Anyway, we get some stuff with Cindy and, was it Jakeem or Joaquin? I think it's Jakeem, Thunderbolt, and of course Mike. And I have to say, it's good that Mike has a friend and they get to do stuff. I just hate that it's the comedic relief filler crap of like the show. They're always in their own little thing. And it's kind of like they're not even really part of the JSA. They're just on there like a little sub-unit of it. And so that's kind of annoying. Like honestly, it feels like even though their scenes are brief in each episode, they have more screen time than the actual JSA members, Wildcat, Dr. Midnight, and Our Man. Like, we have barely seen them this season. So it would have been nice to have some more stuff with them and less comedic relief of them, like, teleporting here and there, playing around with the pen and drinking strawberry milkshakes. Like, I don't need to see that crap. So in a way, they want to help Cindy find a lab because she's turned into a lizard and stuff. And so Jakeem just impulsively makes a wish. They go to the actual lab. And so like, there they find the Ultra-Humanite. So of course they're scared and he's all like, hello, daughter. I'm like, no. Yeah, man, Dr. Ito, Dragon King and all, transferred his brain into that of the Ultra-Humanite. Something he always wanted to do to be more powerful. And it's like, dude, you went from being human to a lizard and now into a gorilla. Like, seriously, this dude don't care about appearances and stuff. And so Mike, he asked Mike, he asked the most important question of them all. Well, where's the actual Ultra-Humanite brain? Boy, those fan theories were real. So we get a scene between Pat and Starman, and they're having a huge argument. See, Starman still wants to go and kill the like ISA and stuff like that, or at least Icicle and stuff like that. And so they're having their heart to heart. But then, Sylvester's all like, I gave you an order that night, not to call, not to bother me. You're not a hero. And you kept calling, you kept distracting me during the fight. And that's what got me killed 10 years ago, and what helped get the JSA killed. And he tells Pat, you're not a hero, you're just a sidekick and everything. Courtney overhears this, and this really upsets her. And she tells Sylvester that, when I got this staff, dude, you was my hero, and I even thought you was my dad and everything. But then after meeting you and everything, like, the biggest mistake I made was that you're no hero, and Pat is the real hero. Pat was always there for me. Pat always helped me, even when I was like being stubborn and stuff. And he's more of a father figure than you will ever be a role model and stuff. And Sylvester's just all pissy and everything. He's being his super grumpy self. And he forces the staff to come towards him. When she tries to get it back, it will not obey her commands. He is in full control now of the staff. Well, this really upsets Pat to where Starman trashes Stripe. No more Stripe because they can't afford to have him in the show. This is why he ain't really been there since season 1. Oh, this pisses me off so much. Anyway, he goes there with a flamethrower to Icicle's house. And next thing you know, he's looking for Icicle. He's gonna take that dude on. Like, you gotta give that dude like courage and stuff. Like, that dude got some courage. Now, when it came to Brett's delivery of her being upset and telling Starman that, a lot of people have criticized her acting. I've always loved her acting, but I can see right here she didn't really sell it. Like, she was supposed to be all emotional, all that, and she was just kind of blank. And that's something I've been noticing since a lot in season 3. Something in season 3, her acting has not always been there. Season 1 and 2, it's always been there. Whether she was disobedient, being friendly, being her adorable self, her being upset, she's always been there. But something about season 3, I don't think she's been in the right headspace. But anyway, Sylvester knocks out Pat after he tells me, you know what, it was my fault that the JSA died and blah, blah, blah. And so then we see Icicle show up. And then the reveal of all reveals. Ultra-Humanite put his brain in Sylvester's body, and it's been that way ever since he died. See, he reveals that the staff did indeed bond to that of the body and revive the body, but the brain was nothing but mush. So he transferred his brain, and then he's been traveling for 10 years trying to know everything he could about Pat so that he can play the best version of Sylvester he could. And then, you know, he's been the one pulling all the strings. He is the one that caused Yolanda to go after Sydney because he needed her out the way because she would be the only person to figure out. He needed Beth's parents out the way, so he had Beth break up with them. He needed our man out the way, so he told him to screw with the limiter. He needed the bond with Courtney to get closer to the staff, and now he's so powerful, it has truly bonded to him. Now the staff trying its best to get away from him, but Sylvester is too powerful now. He is in too much control. And so as he's telling Pat this, he's burying him alive in a shallow grave. And he tells him, you know, like, this is the part that's confusing. He said that he played a great performance, all this and that, but every once in a while he will lose himself in the performance. But I'm like, wait, hold up. Sylvester's brain is nowhere to be found in that body. It is only the Ultra-Humanite. So how is it that Sylvester emotions are blending into that of what's his name brain? Is it like the DNA or something? So I'm kind of confused by that. And Pat tried to like get to him, be like, yo, Sylvester, man, you're my friend and all this and blah, blah, blah. And it looked like it worked for a while, but then here comes Ultra-Humanites again. And so I'm all like, okay, so how did the brain transference work? Because with Ito, his whole brain was taking out his body and putting Ultra-Humanite. So I'm thinking maybe they use some type of comic book technology, lightning, magical, whatever, to just put the consciousness in Sylvester's mushy brain. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because there are no scars around his head. So how did they transfer the consciousness into another? And this will explain why he loses himself in the role of playing Sylvester. So it's confusing and it's not really explained. And I gotta admit, man, I did not see that coming and stuff. However, if it is the Ultra-Humanite brain actually in his body, why in the world did the staff react to him? Like, the staff should have been able to figure out, yo, man, something ain't right with you and everything, and I shouldn't be taking orders from you and stuff. Also, how is he able to wield the staff the way he is if it's his brain and not that of Sylvester's? And it's even in season 2, he was able to control the staff and do all kind of amazing things. The Ultra-Humanite should not be able to know how to master that of the staff. Like, he shouldn't. So this is why I think this is the alternate ending and stuff. He uses it too well. Not to mention Beth Goggles. When both her goggles and Dr. Midnighter came back and revealed that, oh yeah, the staff revived his body, it should have did a brain scan. It should have known that, yo, something ain't right up in that noggin. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is like that alternate, like, ending and stuff like that. Whether it is or not, it was still cool. Not cool enough, in my opinion, to save the entire season. But hey, at least we got that. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.